Hello, I'm a Mac, and I'm a PC. Which are you? This opening line used in the multiple Get a Mac advertisements is one of many creative marketing strategies used by Apple to build a solid brand name. Often referred to as a master marketer, Steve Jobs, a co-founder of Apple, was indeed a master in creativity and in making the world believe that amazing products can and would change your life for the better. In a recently published book about Steve Jobs, written by Walter Isaacson, Jobs openly stated that when a company delivers excellent products, the fewer the products, the better. In fact, he is quoted in the book telling employees, and this is after he cut 70% of their product line, that they shouldn't be wasting time on crappy products. Thus began the real focus of Apple, to produce innovative products and tell stories of these novel products and how they can enhance lives. With that, let's get into some detail of two popular marketing campaigns, the Get a Mac campaign and Think Different, and how creative marketing and creating a solid brand name has paid off for the company. In 2006, Apple rolled out an advertising campaign called Get a Mac that would finally help each of us decide what we were, a Mac or a PC. Apple defined for its customers and potential customers the differences between the casual, confident, creative Mac user and the formal, frustrated, fun-deprived PC user. For those unfamiliar with the commercials, they featured two actors, Justin Long and John Hodgman. The majority of the Get a Mac ads feature the two characters often set against a solid white background. They interact with humorous dialogue, sight gags, and an occasional creative prop. Each ad begins with the dialogue, the quote, "Hello, I'm a Mac, and I'm a PC." Despite what could be considered simple and straightforward, the Get a Mac campaign presented a dynamic content that incorporated both oral and visual, logical and emotional appeals, cultural allusions, metaphors, and even wordplay. It moves between advertising, messages and consumer psychology, brand image, personal identity, ideology, consumption, and most importantly, the self. Steve Jobs felt the self be at the heart of their products as well as their marketing. So when the Get a Mac campaign, their symbolism evolved. Although each character stands at roughly the same intermediate height, Mac has a slimmer build, much sleeker clothing style. Each character is a white male. Both appear to be comparable in age, although PC is probably meant to look a few years older. Their individual styles and personalities emerge over the campaign. Let's reflect for a moment on the creative marketing used just on the visual images of each man. PC, the character always dresses in standard, kind of boring attire, earth tones, suits of brown, green, and tan, the white collared shirt, matching tie and shoes. He's clean shaven, his hair is plain but well trimmed, wears large plain glasses. He's what you would call unassuming, a nondescript individual, nothing really eye-catching. By contrast, Mac stands out. Mac wears blue, blacks, bold grays. He prefers his shirts untucked, his sweatshirts unzipped, his t-shirts are showing. His hair ranges from short to sometimes shoulder length, yet it's always a very trendy and fashionable style. He maintains a slim look by tucking his hands into his jean pockets. I'm kind of getting the picture here of what he's looking like. PC is the standard plain, Mac's cutting edge and innovative. This follows the business philosophy of Steve Jobs. He believed that they were doing not what they called highfalutin, but rather life-changing things. Let's continue for just a moment with the character differences between Mac and PC. Mac was often prone to worry and susceptible to viruses. It's within these ads that the human version of PC is portrayed in a light that metaphors computer problems, viruses, freezing, and crashing. Physical comedy is used to emphasize this point. Mac is the exact opposite of PC. He's confident, calm, collected. He's a human. He represents the Apple brand by displaying a fun, knowledgeable, and caring personality. He's smart and effortlessly adaptable to any situation. His image and personality exhibit colorful creations and enjoyable pursuits. In contrast to PC, Mac never worries about himself, though he does display concern and compassion for his ailing rival throughout the campaign. In a number of spots, Mac's main role is to represent a better way. It's worth noting that nowhere in the original Get a Mac commercial does an Apple product appear. In fact, the Get a Mac campaign was named by Adweek as the ad campaign of the decade. It has been praised for the simplicity and charm of its production elements. Another campaign that left an imprint on the world of marketing was the Think Different campaign. It was created in '97 and it used a variety of iconic figures, including Martin Luther King Jr., John Lennon, Albert Einstein, Jim Henson, just to name a few. This campaign focused on what Steve Jobs held at the core of his beliefs, that people crazy enough to believe they can change the world will make a change in the world. In an interview, Steve talks about the need for having passion for what you do. He felt that a person had to possess true passion to be good at something. He said, if you don't love it, you're going to give up. The opening lines to the Think Different campaign says it all. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Pretty powerful. Such powerful words to help build a brand. As we all know, within recent years, consumer markets have become flooded with virtually identical products. So branding is key in establishing clear differences in products within the minds of both corporations and consumers. How else could Apple sell the iPad 2 for hundreds of dollars more than similar and sometimes more powerful tablets? This is possible because Apple has created a strong brand name, one that pushes innovation, reliability, cutting edge. Brands offer consistency in the form of recognition standards, symbols, and self-definition. I say self-definition because brands help define who we are. Outside of Apple, think of BMW, Polo, Starbucks, Nike. We enjoy their company. We depend on the relationship. They tell the world something about ourselves. Fortune magazine named Apple its most admired company ahead of General Electric, Procter & Gamble, and Google, citing savvy and use of graphics, logos, and advertising as key elements in building corporate brand and reputation. Creative marketing and a solid brand name have allowed the company to break boundaries. The iPhone 4 hit sales of 1.7 million within 3 days of release. The iPad has more than 20,000 educational apps. In fact, more than 1.5 million iPads are used in schools across the nation. This happens with marketing that targets the consumer in a way that makes the consumer feel they need the product. It happens with branding that makes a consumer want to pay more because of the confidence they feel in the product. Apple has not only redefined who we are as humans, Apple has left a favorable footprint on the planet.